TheFlowergod. Now we've made a bridal bouquet. Now what I want to do is do something for the maid of honor or the bridesmaids. And the bride is normally in the whites, so we're going to do something in a little bit of the colors for the maid of honor and bridesmaids. So we're going to use some hot pink roses. These are called Tanga. Really cool. White tulips, wax flower, a little plumosa, and I'm going to show you a little trick with the tulips. And actually I'll get started with the tulips to kind of show you the trick we're going to do. We have a household candle. We're going to light this. And what we're going to do, we're going to wax the tulips. This will keep them from opening up any further, or if we have them already open, you could actually drip the wax down inside, and that'll hold the tulips from opening up. And all you're doing is just adding a little bit of wax right down inside. Normally if the tulip is opened up real wide, this is a little bit more open. You could wax on the back side of the petals. The wax shows up clear or white after it dries, and it really doesn't take any beauty away from the flower, but this will keep the petals at that position. They won't open up anymore, they won't close up, so you still have a nice look in the center. And then you still have the petals inside that are opened up. Just drip it right down through the center. Just a few drops. Keep turning your tulip just a little bit. That way it gets coated around the petals inside. And again, you have the ones on the outside also. This will keep that tulip in the perfect position. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to start off with the rose. Add a few pieces of green around it. And just enough to get around the main rose. As you pull your tulips up closer, see how beautiful that's going to be? The colors are just going to contrast very well. Now we're going to add a couple of tulips. I'm suggesting maybe about 3 tulips around it. Add a little bit more of your foliage. And now we're going to use a little bit of wax flower. Now your bridesmaids and your maid of honor are a little bit smaller than your bridal bouquet. And your maid of honor is smaller than the bridal bouquet, and then your maid of honor is a little bit larger than your bridesmaids. And what we're going to do here is add a little bit of wax flower, just kind of fill it in a little bit, make it a little bit bigger. And you'll have to adjust as you go. Then we're going to add a couple more roses to it. You don't want these really too big, because a lot of your bridesmaids and maid of honors are usually smaller ladies, or young girls, and you don't want to be overpowering. Now I've let these roses sit out overnight so they'll open up a little bit larger. It gives you more of a beautiful look, a lot of color to your roses. Now we're just going to fill in between the roses with the tulips. And again, you have to keep turning and adjusting. You may have to raise some of the flowers up a little bit or drop some down. And pull your foliage off around the base. You want to get a good shape on it, so that's why you keep adjusting. And again, just keep turning the bouquet so you can see where you need foliage or filler or flowers. Now I'm going to add a little bit of wax flower around the outside perimeter. a little bit more wax flower and it should be just about finished off. Wax flower has kind of a lemony scent. Very pretty filler flower. Okay, now I've got the bouquet pretty well symmetrical and pretty good shape. Make sure all the foliage is off the bottom. Now I'm going to go through and cut the stems. I'm going to cut the stems, oh, maybe about 6 to 8 inches long. And this is where you can put it in a vase the day before. Let the flowers open up a little bit. Now I'm using a chenille stem, and this is going to help me hold the bouquet together while I wrap the stem with ribbon. And that's going to hold the bouquet together while I wrap the stem. And again, use a satin or a silk ribbon. Now this time I'm going to start at the top. And we'll place a pin in it. That's going to hold. Always put the pin at an angle, either up or down. That way it's not going to stick anybody if any of the points protrude. And what we're going to do here is just start turning the ribbon and overlapping about half the ribbon and keep it pulled tight. That'll keep all your wrinkles out of the ribbon and it gives you a nice finish. And we're going to stop about 1 inch to 2 inches below the bottom, or above the bottom, I'm sorry. And when we get to the bottom, we're going to take a ribbon and cut it. And you could actually tuck the last 1/2 inch under and kind of pull tight. Now we're going to take the pin and place it into a stem. That way it'll hold it nice and firm, like this. Now we're going to find the best location for the front of your bouquet. Okay, I think that's pretty close for the front. Now I'm going to go straight down with the pins. And we're going to put them about 1/2 inch apart and put them in at an angle. This just adds a little French pearl look to it. And as you go, if you want a little more ribbon to it, you could take some of your ribbon, cut the tips at a point, and just take a loop of your ribbon before you add your wrapping. This can be tied in very easily, just to give you that look with the loops. You don't really have to, but if you want a little bit more ribbon to your bouquet, you can do that. And then this can be placed in a cup of water, like the day before, and that'll keep it fresh up until the day of the wedding. One thing you'd like to do too is take a misting bottle just after you finish it. That'll keep the flowers a little bit fresher. You could also do this just before the wedding. That way it looks like it was just freshly made.